folks, it's Kat.Beanie and welcome back to another super flat multiplayer survival. As you can see, there is many rare pink sheep floating about here. I'm just gonna have a look over here because I have dirt and there appears to be a dirt thing, large dirt thing over here that I could contribute to. Although I don't know what the plans are for the large dirt thing. Is someone building this en masse? Are they making another hollow thing? If I add to it, will someone get mad at me? I don't know what the drill is. So maybe I'm not going to contribute to the large dirt thing because I don't want to make other players angry. So I'm going to do my own dirt thing. Over here by my little oasis area. There's a little, that's strange. But yeah, I'm gonna do over here, and then the plan is after I have done this, I will make a lovely area, bring some villagers over, and then they can have their own little bit, breed some new ones, and yeah, everything will be shiny and right with the world. Although I don't think forced breeding could ever sort of be called shiny and right with the world. But I don't know, ask the American government. Yeah, I went there. Want women to vote for you? Don't force them to have babies. I've probably been watching too much Handmaid's Tale. But it is kind of like that, right? Well, not with the whole, you know, forced. But definitely with the whole lack of choice thing. But that's all I'm going to say about that at the minute, because probably too much hard-hitting stuff for a Minecraft video. I was having a conversation with a friend earlier, and like the sort of topic came up, but about whether you should be happy or not. Well, not whether you should be happy or not, but whether you should sort of congratulate someone that's having a baby. I think until you know their sort of thought process on the whole thing, because being pregnant isn't necessarily a happy thing for everybody. Like, I've got friends that are child free, will always be child free, they never plan on having any offspring ever, and that is entirely okay. And I don't like, people expect, because I have kids, people expect me to say, but oh, don't, like, you know, kids are the greatest blessing in the world, and like, you'll never know the love until you know the love of your own child. And while, like, as a parent, obviously I understand the all-consuming love that you would have for your child, and that you would literally throw yourself into a fire to protect them. I also feel that you don't miss what you don't know. So telling people, oh, you should have this because this is great, like, just leave them alone, folks. If they're happy the way they are, why has anybody got a crap on their parade? People don't have to have kids to be happy. Like, I wouldn't choose my life any other way. I would, if I could go back knowing what I know now, I would still choose to have my kids. And like, I've got to raise the point that not all parents feel that way. There are some parents out there, like, I know it comes to a shock to some people, that there are some parents out there that have kids and then realise, oh crap, I'm not really good at this, maybe I shouldn't have done it. And unfortunately that has a detrimental effect on the child, because a lot of the time, instead of placing the child up for adoption, the person decides to tough it out, and kids can be raised in not emotionally abusive but emotionally absent. I don't know if that would be considered the same thing, but you know, and I don't think anybody, I'm probably going to get slated for this, but I don't think people that have children, and like, if they realise early on, like, because everybody goes through the phase of, I'm going to sell my kid on eBay. We've all been there. We will all sell our children on eBay. Wholesale. Get a bargain. But, you know, if someone has a baby, whether you're male or female, and then, like, while it's still young enough to be placed in a new home without any, I won't say consequences, because even being adopted, you have consequences to deal with. Even if you have a fantastically brilliant open adoption where you know you're adopted, and you know your adopted parents, well, your parents have done everything right, and you have a wonderful relationship with your parents and your birth parents. Even if that all goes right to plan and as well as it could potentially be, there's still going to be emotions there. I'm not going to say that I understand any of them, because I've never been adopted, despite begging my mother when I was younger to please tell me that my brothers were not related to me. Unfortunately, they are. So, yeah. But I do have family members that were adopted into the family. And I'm not trying to say I understand what their experience was like. They were adopted into our family when they were quite old. I think that they were like 5 at the time. So obviously they always knew from the get-go that they were adopted, and there was some like issues that I will never understand. So it's not for me to say, it's not for me to judge, I don't know. So yeah, but I feel like parents that realise early on that they can't do this and make the decision to place their child in a better environment and better home with, you know, people that are more equipped at the time to raise and love that child should not be frowned upon in any way. Like they say, it takes a village, and some people are better at making cars. Some people are better at designing, I don't know, ball gowns. Some people are better at looking after kids. Like it's a life skill that not everybody has, and not everybody has the inherent need or emotional bond to a child just because they are biologically related to it. Right. Right, so I've got a wee hilly hill. Used up, I think, all my dirt. I mean, that dirt thing over there is going to take a lot of dirt. I don't know whose dirt thing that is, but yeah. Lots of dirt, but I've got a little hill. Let's see if the water will flow down here. I'm going to try and...
Oh, my God. This is good, I like games better when they're a bit interesting.
See if I can pick these up to... There we go.
You do get a lot of campers in this because snipers. Like they've got a clear line of sight on the left and the right. The eye's decent.
Is that why? I don't know why that's doing that. There we go. Here we go. But yeah, as I was saying, even like I'm not talking about getting like even parents that realise a little later on that they're not coping should have all the access to support that they need. And if that support means having to place a child in a foster home, or get put up for adoption, then that's a decision that would be made by probably people more qualified than me to say.
Juggernaut.
It says because life can throw you into situations that you're just not ready for. Like for example, having children with autism. Not everybody would be emotionally equipped. Not even emotionally, but even just practically. Emotionally, physically, mentally equipped to deal with that when you find out. Usually, well, I won't say usually because there's every autistic person is got their own story of when and how they found out. So but from what, there we go. But not everybody's equipped to raise children with additional support needs. Oh, hello friend. What you got? Blue ice, pumpkins, cactus, moss blocks, sea pickles. I think we're good, buddy. Yeah, not everybody is equipped to raise children with additional support needs. Whether that's autistic children who will then obviously turn into autistic adults, or anyone else. Like there's only so much you can screen for when you're pregnant, and I'm not going to go into the whole screening debate on whether I think it's right or not to screen for disabilities in babies, because that is a double-edged sword. As I said, not everybody is ready or willing to look after people with disabilities, and I think if they are in the position where they know they cannot handle it, then clearly the best solution is to do what's best for the child and put them with people that can be trusted and know what they're doing. Like me and my husband talked about, why is there a pumpkin in the middle of this patch? I must have planted it randomly. Yeah, but me and my husband talked about fostering and adopting potentially, because we didn't think, we were told that I wasn't supposed to have any more children after my son by a doctor in the hospital that saved my life, and said that it would not be, that I would be risking my life if I had another baby. And I was, but thankfully we were very well prepared this time. We knew what to expect, we knew what would happen if things went badly. Everything was as well thought out and prepared as it could be. And we went into it fully knowing the chances of Eowyn potentially being autistic, which is something we are obviously have experience with and are I'm not gonna lie and say that I won't be a little bit upset if she is. Not for any detrimental potential effect on my life.
No.
We
you
knew,
made my mind go.
well, we knew the risks.
No,
We
because it was my main.
are fully capable and happy of raising another wonderful human being, whether they are autistic or not. Why won't these pumpkins go away? Why? Guys, just... Okay, I guess I've got pumpkins now. Can I... Did they go from 12 to 13 pumpkins? Can I just... Right, I'm not... Why won't it let me put them in the other chest, but it'll let me put them in this chest? I don't understand. Anyway. Oh, move, cat. But if we couldn't have had her, we were planning on fostering children with additional support needs. Because I make no judgments on parents that feel they cannot raise a disabled child. It is hard. And as I said before, everyone is good at different things. I love working with kids. I have always loved working with kids. I used to be a nanny. I knew early on that I wanted to be a parent. I didn't know early on if I'd be any good at it, but like I was a nanny before I became a parent. I did work with kids prior to having my own. But yeah, everyone has their capabilities and things that they struggle with. And sometimes that's parenting, sometimes that's just looking after kids in general, you know. And some people absolutely should not be parents and should not be within many miles of children, and you all know what sorts of people I'm potentially referring to. So I won't say any more about that. But yeah. So as long as people realise that they're not coping and get help, whether that's from the social work department, whether that's family support, whatever sort of, however that support helps and works for you, as long as you do what is best for the child, then that is all anybody can ask. You know, as I say, sometimes it takes a village to raise a kid, and sometimes that village looks like social services. Obviously way back when usually like a neighbour or a family member would just like take the kid, and that would be that. Wouldn't be any government involvement. But obviously the world we live in now, is a bit more beneficial because beforehand kids could get lost in stuff and you wouldn't know where they are, you wouldn't know where they ended up, etc, etc. You wouldn't know if they were in a safe environment. So as long as people are doing what's best for their kids, and if the best looks like not living with their birth family, then unfortunately sometimes that's what you've got to do. And that's why foster carers and social workers and stuff are there. Now don't get me wrong, I do realise that not all foster carers and not all social workers are great and amazing. I have worked with good ones, bad ones, so I have seen all sorts. And it kills me to think that some kids go from a bad situation to another bad situation when that is not the point of the system it was designed for. Unfortunately, the world is not perfect. I don't know where this whole talk came from today. My mind takes me to weird places, but that's what I do, because I get to ramble on the internet about random things. And for some reason people enjoy listening to me. They're all mad. In a good way. We're all a little mad. God, I don't know if this episode will make a trigger warning. How many carrots have I got down? It's a good thing my family members don't watch my videos because I'd have to warn the one that was adopted about this. But they don't watch my videos, so it's fine. Probably never see it. If they ever do, hi. It's not upsetting for them. Like I don't think of them like as adopted. If that sounds, I don't know what the protocol is, but obviously to me, I can't remember if they were adopted just before or just after I was born, but like I was like obviously too young to remember them not being in my life. To me, they've always been in my life, in some aspect or another. So, to me, they're just family. Like I have a very complicated family history. If I run it down for you guys, so my biological father married my mother. While my mum was pregnant with my oldest brother. So it was sort of like a shotgun wedding, although there was no shotgun involved. Like my granddad even offered to like run away with my mum so she didn't have to marry my dad, which probably would have been I mean, I never would have been born, but probably might have worked out better for her in the long run. But anyway, so yeah, so they had me, well, my big brother and then me. And then my mum was pregnant with my little brother. Things were bad. Then they got divorced. My little brother was very, very young at the time. I think he was like literally a baby. So we moved. We used to live in Aberdeen, which is where my dad's flat was. We moved back to Edinburgh, which is where they're from. Several years later, my dad gets with this other lady who is the mother to my half brothers. So I've got two full-blooded brothers and two half-blooded brothers. So same dad, different mum. My two half brothers also have another two half sisters who are not related to me. So yeah, it's whole complicated history. And I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so I had 7 grandparents in total to begin with. Now, I'm just gonna line that in for you. So my biological father, what the? Okay, my biological father's parents were divorced before I was born. Checking there's nothing different in here. Yeah. And they both remarried. So instead of granny and granddad, I had 2 grannies and 2 granddads. Which is, fine. I never knew any different. This happened before I was born, so 2 grannies and 2 granddads on that side of the family. And on my mother's side, I had my granny and granddad, and my great grandmother was still alive at the time. So 7 grandparents in total. So obviously my great grandmother passed away first, and then my grandmother passed away. Trying to think. Yeah, my great granny, then my mum's mum. Wait, 26. Yeah, so my great granny, then my mum's mum. Then my dad's dad. Then my dad's stepdad. Yeah, so I've got 3 left, which is my biological grandmother from my dad's side, my step grandmother from my dad's side, and my biological grandfather from my mother's side. I don't see or speak to currently my biological grandmother from my dad's side, just because of family issues. Not my choice, really. I would like to talk to her, but I think it would just cause a whole heap of problems that I don't want to deal with from that side of the family. And my step granny, or just like my granny, she currently has cancer. You probably heard me talking about her before, or talking about her cancer before. So she beat breast cancer and I just got lung cancer, so that's a bit unfortunate. And my biological grandfather from my mother's side has dementia and is in a care home. So yeah, that's my rundown of me and my crazy weird family. I talk to all my brothers. I don't talk to my biological father because he's an alcoholic. I talk to my mum and my dad. Technically my stepdad, but you know, my dad's my dad. I do refer to my biological father by his first name, but that does not reflect on the relationship I have with my brothers. My half brothers are, you know, the half doesn't matter. They're my brothers. Will always be my family. And that's my little crazy family history for tonight. So, thanks for watching, guys. Please remember to like and subscribe, and tune in for some more if you want to hear more about my crazy family, relatives, all that jazz. And I'll catch you in the next one. Goodbye.